record to this.
There we go.
So what I want you to do is I'm going to bring you up. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms first, okay?
Mhm.
And I want you to find your spine of your character. What do you want from the other person? What are you going to do if you get it or don't get it? What is an obstacle in your way? And what is your action and or activity that you do to get it? Now, oh God, there's a cat outside. Just screamed. Oh. So what you do is you sorry, screaming cat always gets me upset. um just blanked my mind just right there. I'm so sorry. So when you're rehearsing it, what you want to do is always find what is that obstacle. And also, what is that activity? When you're this close, you can't have your hands doing too much. But I want y'all start looking for little things, even if it's straightening your shirt, your necklace, something, you know, looking around just a little bit. Try not to straighten your hair though, Alyssa, because for some reason casting directors always hate us touching our hair, from what I've been told. Because I used to
Interesting.
have a private cold reading workshop, so I had a lot of casting directors come to that. So, but that was so many years ago, it could have changed. But, you know, adjusting your glasses, cleaning your glasses for a second, putting them back on, it can be very helpful. So I'm going to put you in the room for, is 15 minutes going to be good enough, you guys? Okay, so do 15 minutes. We've got, and I'm going to put, Jacob, I'll put you in the same room with Jennifer and Carolyn. Okay, you're in the room, that room. And room 2 will be Andy and Alyssa will be in room 2. And in room 3 will be Chris and Isabella. I'm opening up all the rooms now, so please go to your rooms.
All righty.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye. Did that give you guys enough time?
We got through both of them, yeah.
Good.
I think
Okay.
so.
Did you make some choices about what you wanted? What could be an obstacle?
That was close. That was close.
Okay, so, oops, poor Eamon. I still haven't get Eamon.
Oh, nice.
Carolyn, where's Eamon?
No, no.
That's connecting to audio on mine.
Okay, there he
There
is.
you guys are.
Amen.
Hola.
How'd you do that, Eamon?
I I had to restart it for some reason, but it took a long time to restart.
Okay, well, Eamon, you're going to be working then with Carolyn in A Walk in the Clouds.
Walk in the clouds.
And I'm going to have to, well, you guys will just, I want you, while you're watching the others, Eamon, I want you to do a back life on the character for yourself. Okay?
Okay.
What do you
All right,
want?
could you repeat?
Sure. What I'd like you to do is figure out what do you want,
Mm-hmm.
what's your obstacle in getting it, what action or activity do you use to try and get it. Even if you're not moving around, it'll still give movement to a still, audition.
Mm.
Because we're going to be doing this now. What's going to happen is the person who's doing the scene, we're going to all turn off our cameras except one part of the team, and their mate will read back and forth with them, just like you'd be doing with a casting director, and then we'll switch camera on the other person. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Who would like to go first? Who would like to go second?
Wait.
Do you want to go first, Andy, or second?
Go first.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's put Andy up first. And Alyssa, you're going to turn off your camera. Carolyn, turn off your camera.
No, I'm sorry.
So it's just going to be Andy. So now, Andy, you're going to react by looking into the eye of that camera and responding to Alyssa, okay? And action.
Lynette. Hi, baby.
Hi, Sid.
Come out here a minute.
What are you doing out of uniform?
Don't worry about that. Just come out here a minute. I got something for you.
Well, wait just a second, all right? I look a mess.
All right. If you don't want it.
All right, what?
Well, if you don't want it.
What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's so beautiful.
It cost me my whole life savings, but I said, what the fuck?
Oh God. Oh, Sid, does this mean what I think?
Yes, ma'am. That's what it means.
Oh, Sid.
Let's get a justice of the peace and do it right now.
Oh, I can't wait to tell Paula. Oh, Sid, I wonder where we're going to get stationed first. Oh, I hope we go to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii.
Honey, we're not going to get stationed anywhere. I DOR'd.
You what?
I DOR'd. Hell, I was never going to be a pilot. I was faking it. I've been faking everything in my life up till now.
But what'll we do? Where would we go?
Oklahoma. I'm going to get my old job back at JCPenney's. Hell, in 2 years, I'll be floor manager. You're gonna love Oklahoma. And you and mom are gonna get along great. Money might be a little tight at first, so we might have to live there at home, but it's gonna work out.
Sid, there's no baby.
What?
I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning. There's no baby, Sid.
Well, I'll be goddamned. What do you say we get married anyway? I love you. I don't think I really knew that till just now, just this second. I have never been happier in my life than I have the last 7 weeks. I've never felt so relaxed. I've never felt so loved for who I really am. Lynette, marry me. Make me the happiest man in the whole world.
I'm sorry, Sid, but I don't want to marry you. I really like you, and we've had ourselves some really great times. But I thought you understood I want to marry a pilot. I want to live my life overseas, the wife of an aviator. Damn you! God damn you! Nobody's DORs after 11 weeks. Nobody.
Scene.
Scene.
It was very nicely done, Andy. And Alyssa, from your side too, as a voiceover, you have to sometimes remember casting directors may do it themselves and they speak in a monotone. You know, they put some feeling into it because they want you to get the job, but sometimes you have to work like with a monotone, just so that you know. I really felt how hurt you were, Andy. And I have a big question to you, and because I didn't see that color. I think that you need to over justify why you left. Why did you leave?
Why did I leave? It wasn't, uh, it was just too hard. I couldn't handle it.
I need to see that. So let's go to the spot where you think we would bring that in. Like go a couple lines before that and let Alyssa know where. Let me turn myself off here.
Um,
Is it before this has been the happiest 11 weeks of my life, or?
well, two possible places. I think one place is when she asks where we'll get stationed first. But another possible place is much earlier, possibly, when she asks me what I'm doing out of uniform. But I think that one is more
Avoidance. I think you did very
Yeah.
well how you avoided it.
okay.
That I liked how you handled that moment. I think that it's before you say the 11 weeks. I think you're trying to distract yourself and her. This is you've got to go overboard. It's really been the happiest 11 weeks of my life. I've really had a great time.
Uh-huh.
Because Uh, I think you really do know that these girls in this small town want to marry a pilot.
Okay.
All right, my dog is having dog mares. It's okay, Lucky.
Um,
So,
okay.
Alyssa, can you tell Alyssa where to take it from?
Yeah, Elisa, if you could just start from your line where you say, "I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning."
Okay.
I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning. There's no baby, Sid.
Well, I'll be goddamned. What do you say we get married anyway? I love you. I don't really think I knew that till just now, just the second. I have never been happier in my life than I have been the last 7 weeks. I've never felt so relaxed. I've never felt so loved for who I really am. Lynette, marry me. Make me the happiest man in the whole world.
Good. That's what I wanted. Andy, that was really good. Thank you for taking that direction. Now, Alyssa, you come on, and Andy, you go off. We'll still do these scenes, you guys, as twosomes, but I want you to have this experience. It's very important.
Lynette, hi, baby.
Hi, Sid.
Come out here a minute.
What are you doing out of uniform?
Don't worry about that. Just come out here a minute. I got something for you.
Wait just a second, all right. I look a mess.
All right, then. If you don't want it,
All right, what?
well, if you don't want it,
What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's beautiful.
it cost me my whole life savings, but I said, what the fuck?
Oh God. Oh, Sid, does this mean what I
Yes,
think?
ma'am, that's what it means.
Oh, Sid.
Let's get a justice of the peace and do it right now.
Oh, I can't wait to tell Paula. Oh, Sid, I wonder where we're going to get stationed first. Oh, I hope we go to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii.
Honey, we're not going to get stationed anywhere. I DOR'd.
You, what?
I DOR'd. Hell, I was never cut out to be a pilot. I was faking it. I've been faking everything up in my life up until now.
But what do we do? Where would we go?
Oklahoma. I'm going to get my old job back at J.C. Penney's. Hell, in 2 years, I'll be floor manager. You're going to love Oklahoma. And you and mom are going to get along great. Money might be a little tight at first, so we might have to live there at home, but it's going to work out.
Sid, there's no baby.
What?
I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning. There's no baby, Sid.
Well, I'll be goddamned. What do you say we get married anyway? I love you. I don't really think I knew that till just now, just a second. I have never been happier in my life than I have been the last 7 weeks. I've never felt so relaxed. I've never felt so loved for who I really am. Lynette, marry me. Make me the happiest man in the whole world.
Sorry, Sid, but I don't want to marry you. I really like you, and we've had ourselves some really great times. But I thought you understood I want to marry a pilot. I want to live my life overseas, the wife of an aviator. Damn you! God damn you! DORs after 11 weeks? Nobody.
Okay, so Alyssa, I think you did she was really interesting. I really enjoyed watching you. But I think I need to see when you make that change. And I don't want to see you acting. I want to see you really making that change. I mean, he says, I don't know that I loved you until this minute. I think you're pissed. I think there's something inside you that's very aggravated by this guy because you say no one does that after 11 weeks. He's showing you a weak side of himself that you really don't like. Have you seen this movie, you guys?
I haven't.
A long time ago, but what happens is, Andy, you hang yourself in the shower of a motel nearby after this. They find you, Richard Gere, and Deborah, I forgot her last name. They find you in the shower. And I think it's because you don't mean to be, but you find him weak. Well, you felt, and I think, Alyssa, you discovered that you found him weak all along. But now, what a stupid thing. He's on his last week. His last week of training. What is he, nuts? And pilots get paid good money. And you want to travel. So let's take it to that speech when he says, Andy, when you say, I didn't know I loved you till this moment.
Okay. Well, I'll be goddamned. What do you say we get married anyway? I love you. I don't think I really knew that till just now. Just a second. I have never been happier in my life than I have been the last 7 weeks. I've never felt so relaxed. I've never felt so loved for who I really am. Lynette, marry me. Make me the happiest man in the whole world.
Sorry, Sid, but I don't want to marry you. I really like you, and we've had ourselves some great times. But I thought you understand I want to marry a pilot. I want to live my life overseas, the wife of an aviator. Damn you! God damn you! Nobody DORs after 11 weeks? Nobody!
Good. Thank you, Alyssa. That was good, and thank you for taking the direction. I felt better with that. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I think it made more sense that way. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you're very aggravated. I mean, it's like, oh my God, what idiot does that?
Yeah.
I mean, at least he
It's-
could have gone through with it and then decided later, but okay. All right, next group. Someone's got something in chat here. Deborah Winger, thank you so much, Carolyn. God, what would we do without Carolyn? Thank you, Carolyn. Who's next? Jacob. Turn your sound on, Jacob. All right, so let's have Jen go first. Jen, turn your sound on. Jacob, turn your video off.
Okay, let me put on my little thing then.
Your little thing.
My little thing. Yes. Okay.
Do you want me to start humming Moon River?
Alrighty. Okay.
Hi, I wanted to talk about the other night. Then I saw the paper and, well, actually, I'm kind of embarrassed about it. But since it concerns you, I thought I should talk about it in person.
What?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the earplugs. I can't go through the whole thing again. It's sufficient to say I've come to make up. As an added inducement, I have all kinds of news. Can I come in?
Oh, um, I guess so. Just a minute. Do I have a nightgown on? No, I don't. Would you turn around for a second? Or never mind, actually, that's corny. I'll turn around myself. You can come in. Sorry.
Have you seen the paper?
Rusty, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes. I know all about it.
Certainly had him pegged wrong. I thought he was just a rat, but he was a super rat all along. A super rat in rat's clothing. You don't even know. The best part, not only was he a super rat, he was also broke.
I mean, but not a farthing. His family has money, of course, but he personally is broke. I mean, it turns out he owes 700,000. Can you imagine owing anyone 700,000? $43, yes, but anyway, I mean, that's why he decided to marry the queen of the pig people. But I'll tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a minute. Would you marry me for my money?
In a minute.
Well, I guess it's pretty lucky that neither of us is rich, huh,
Yeah.
Fred? Darling, I'm so glad to see you. Tell me, what have you been doing?
Writing mostly. Sold a story. Just got word this morning.
Oh, oh, that's marvelous. I mean, it really is, but only how does your decorator friend feel about it? I mean, aren't you supposed to be saving yourself?
You know something? I haven't got around to telling her yet. Look, why don't we go have a drink or take a walk to celebrate?
All right. No, there's some champagne in the icebox. Why don't you open it while I go get dressed?
Okay.
You know, come to think of it, I don't think I've ever had champagne before breakfast before. With breakfast, maybe on several occasions, but never before. You know what? I've got a wonderful idea. Why don't we spend the day doing things that we've never done before? We can take turns. First, something that you've never done, and then me. Of course, I can't really think of anything that I haven't done before.
Whoa.
Scene?
Yes.
Okay, so very sweet. You know, you did Holly Golightly extremely naively and sweet. Um, and I quite, you know, I like it. Originally, she was really written as a hooker.
I've never seen this movie before, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, Jennifer,
I know.
you must see it.
I know.
It's one of my favorite movies of life. And in fact, um, I, I did not know that it was about a prostitute or a hooker. I just assumed she was a party girl. You
I didn't
know,
know that either.
no, none of us did.
Mhm.
Because Audrey Hepburn played her innocently, you know, like a cute party girl. And it was Carl, my friend Carl, who said, you know, no, she's definitely you know, a call girl.
Hmm.
And I liked how you did her. I'm just trying to think. I I I again, I think when you have the earplugs in,
Hmm.
you've got to be what? And point to them. What? Oh, the earplugs. You were good in taking them out. However, I think you really have to cover up there what you're feeling. When he says, "Oh, I thought he was just a rat, but he was a super rat." Well, he did. You're still taking his side, even though what he did was horrible. You guys were engaged to be married, and even though you knew he was poor, rich but poor, um, this was your one chance to save yourself and get out of the business that you're in. So I'd like to see you defend that a little bit.
Okay.
So it's just that beginning up to maybe where would you stop?
Let me look at the script really quick. I think it kind of changes when the line with Holly where she says, "Oh, Fred, darling, I'm so glad to see you. What have you been doing?" Because that kind of changes the subject.
Yes, changed. Perfect. Thank you so much for thinking. That was a good actress thought.
Okay.
Good girl. Jacob?
Hi, I wanted to talk about the other night. Then I saw the paper. Well, actually, I'm kind of embarrassed about it, but since it concerns you, I thought we should talk about it in person.
What?
What?
Hmm.
Oh, the earplugs. I can't go through the whole thing again. It's sufficient to say I've come to make up. As an added inducement, I have all kinds of news. Can I come in?
Oh, well, I guess so. Just a minute. Do I have a nightgown on? No, no, I don't. Would you turn around for me for 1 second? Actually, never mind, never mind. That's corny anyway. I'll turn around myself. You can come in. I'm sorry.
Have you seen the paper?
Rusty, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, yes, I know all about it.
Certainly had him pegged wrong, didn't I? I thought he was just a rat, but he was a super rat all along. A super rat in rat's clothing. You don't even know. The best part, not only was he a super rat, he was also broke.
But I mean, but not a farthing. I mean, his family has money, of course, but he personally is broke. I mean, it turns out he owes 700,000. Can you imagine anyone owing 700,000? $43, yes, but anyway, I mean, that's why he decided to marry the queen of the pig people. You know what, though? I'll tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a heartbeat. Would you marry me for mine?
In a minute.
I guess it's pretty lucky that neither of us is rich, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Jennifer, that was really sweet. That was very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I liked it a lot. There's a joke there when she says, and because you guys are going to do it again, but you'll be both doing it together. When she says, "Oh, could you turn around?" Oh, that's so silly. I'll turn around. I mean, that's funny. So she can't see him. She's going to drop her robe. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's funny to me. Okay, so Jacob, come on. Turn your sound. There you go. Have you ever seen this movie, Jacob?
No.
Uh,
I am aware of its status as a classic film, but I have not seen it.
well, when the first show that I got, one of the first shows was with him, the man who plays this role, and it was on A-Team. And I worked with him, and I thought I was going to die, because he was like a hero to me. So here we go.
Hi, I wanted to talk about the other night. Then I saw the paper and I'm actually kind of embarrassed about it. But since it concerns you, I thought we should talk about it in person.
What?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the earplugs. I can't go all through the whole thing again. It's sufficient to say I've come to make up. As an added inducement, I have all kinds of news. Can I come in?
I guess so. Just a minute. Do I have a nightgown on? No, no, I don't. Would you turn around for a second? Oh, you know what? Never mind. That's corny anyway. I'll turn around myself. You can come in.
Have you seen the paper?
Rusty, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, I know all about it.
Certainly had him pegged wrong, didn't I? I thought he was just a rat, but he was a super rat all along. A super rat in rat's clothing. The best part? Not, you don't even know. Not only was he a super rat, he was also broke.
Oh, I mean, but not a farthing. His family has money, of course, but he personally is broke. I mean, it turns out he owes 700,000. Can you imagine anyone owing 700,000? $43, yes. But anyway, that's why he decided to marry the queen of the pig people. I'll tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a heartbeat. Would you marry me for mine?
In a minute.
I guess it's pretty lucky neither of us is rich, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Fred, darling. I'm so glad to see you. Tell me, what have you been doing?
Writing mostly. Sold a story. Just got word this morning.
Oh, well, that's marvelous. It really is. Only, how does your decorator friend feel about it? Aren't you supposed to be saving yourself?
You know something? I haven't got around to telling her yet. Look, why don't we go have a drink? Or take a walk to celebrate?
All right. Oh, there's some champagne in the icebox. Why don't you open it while I go get dressed?
Okay.
I don't think I've ever drunk champagne before breakfast before. With breakfast on several occasions, yes, but never before. Well, I got a wonderful idea. We'll spend the day doing things that we've never done before. We'll take turns. First, something you've never done, then me. Of course, I can't think of anything I've never done.
Woo!
So, Jacob, I want you to take that ending again, and I want to see you thinking about things you haven't done. Just so you know the story, you're being kept in a private apartment in New York City by a rich designer woman who is, if I'm not mistaken, Patricia McNeil. And the reason why you guys get so, I think, intimate pretty quickly, you and Jen, is because you have someone, and she's like naively not getting what she's doing. She doesn't really even think of herself as a call girl. She thinks of herself as a party girl. You feel safe with her and she feels safe with you. So at the end, when she's saying, let's do things we've never done, I think you're innocent. Like, well, this could be fun. What haven't I done? Because the next scene that ensues is that you guys start stealing things out of a store. You go to Tiffany's, you go to a Five and Dime where you find masks that you put on and sneak around. It's quite cute. Blake Edwards directed it. So I want to see you thinking, even though you're not talking, okay? When Jennifer's giving that monologue, everything else was real cute. Okay, Jennifer.
I'm sorry, where am I going from? Am I just going from the very end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where I've never had champagne in the morning.
Okay. I don't think I've ever drunk champagne before breakfast before. With breakfast on several occasions, but never before. Well, I've got a wonderful idea. We'll spend the day doing things that we've never done before. We'll take turns. First, something that you've never done, then me. Of course, I can't really think of anything I've never done.
Cute. And the other thing I was going to say, Jacob, when you walk in, and I think it's a great joke when she says, "Oh, no, no, you don't have to turn around. I'll turn around." I think you go like this. Do you know what I mean? You cover, you're a gentleman. You are probably the only person who's a real gentleman to her. And that's what's so lovable about your character. And Andy, I don't know if you're watching. I forgot to tell you, you have to hold that ring box up higher. You there, Andy? Can you hear me? Hello, Andy? Oh God, will I remember?
Sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you this. You have to hold the ring box up higher. You had it way down here, so we never knew what it was. You know, you have to. Will you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Motion opening it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Good. Next, Jacob. Good. Thank you for taking my direction. Isabella. All right. Where's your partner? Isabella is your partner.
Chris.
Okay. Chris, turn off your camera. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, sweetheart.
All righty. Hello. Hi, honey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Well, look, Esther. Maybe the thing to do for us is to stop thinking about when I'm coming back home to Scarsdale and start thinking about when you and the girls will come out here. Uh-huh. Now, as soon as possible. You know, on the other hand, do you think this is the right time to take the kids out of school? Maybe we should play it by ear for a little bit and see what happens. Yeah, we don't have to settle everything in one conversation, do we? All right. I tell you, the thing is we're gonna see each other before you know it. All right? Okay. I love you too, Esther. Good night.
Am I coming at a bad time?
Not at all. Come on in.
I didn't want to interrupt your pantomime.
No, it's just
What were you doing?
nothing. Why don't you come on in? Too fast to put a ring on your finger?
Nothing's too fast that fits. You always carry around a spare ring.
I figure I'd run into you. Would you ever have called me?
I was planning to wait a while.
When?
10 years.
10 years. Why?
Well, guess I just figured all we're going to do is bring out misery and torment in each other.
What? Now, why would we have to bring each other misery and torment?
Because we both want what we want whenever we want it, and we both want everything.
Well, that doesn't sound too promising, does it?
That's what I'm saying.
Then why'd you come?
Well, it wasn't cautious.
What about Joey A?
We're in touch. Does that bother you?
Uh-huh.
Why? Because of your conscience or because we're worried about screwing up business?
Hadn't thought it through that far, clearly.
Well, if you knew I was here with you, the only thing you'd be trying to think about is which one of us is going to kill first.
Do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
How do you know I want to kiss you at all? I really don't think we should go through with this. What about you? Is that a yes or a no?
I'm both. Whoa. You pack quite a punch, don't you?
I'm sure right. That wasn't a punch. It was a slap. If I had a punch you, you'd be on the floor right now.
I'm sure you're right, and I'm sure you're right about everything. I'm sure you're right about the misery and the torment, and I'm sure you're right about what you want and what you're gonna do.
Do you always talk this much before you're gonna do it?
I only talk this much before I'm gonna kill someone. Scene.
So, I think we need, Isabella, by the way, you did really good job. I think we need to take it back to where I really liked everything up until the slap.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened, but I need to see your fierceness then.
Okay.
I mean, this is Bugsy Siegel. This is not the nicest man of them all. He's a gangster, and he's a dangerous gangster, but you're so attracted to him. And I think this is where your attitude changes. That's not a slap. You know, if you'd be on the floor, you're letting him know that you're not somebody he's going to mess around with. And that's what really intrigues him. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, can you go to that point and help her out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
But you did a good job, Isabella. Actually, I'm really starting to see a little actress come out in you. How do you feel about that? You
Good.
don't care. I know you don't care, but it's so cool to see it happening anyway.
All right, I'm
So,
gonna
and also,
take it. Oh, sorry.
Chris, just one second. I cut you off, so I apologize. But Isabella, where you made a mistake, you started reading from that point on as well. Which
Okay.
is towards the end. You've got to take the words off and look into the eye of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Chris, where were you going to suggest? And I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna take it from do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
All right.
Because that's after that she says a line, and then after that it's like the whole slap.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. Do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
How do you know I want to kiss you at all? I really don't think we should go through with this. Do you? Is that a yes or a no?
Both. Whoa. You pack quite a punch, don't you?
That wasn't a punch. It was a slap. If I had to punch you, you'd be stretched out across the floor.
I'm sure you're right, and I'm sure you're right about everything. I'm sure you're right about the misery and the torment. And I'm sure you're right about what you want and what you're gonna do.
Do you always talk this much before you do it?
I only talk this much before I kill somebody.
Do you think that's funny, Isabella? The reason I ask you that, the ending, is that the camera would linger on your face.
Mm-hmm.
So we really need to know how she feels about that. Are you taken aback by that, or if you think that's funny?
I think it's funny. Like because I obviously like him.
So I would like to see that last thing, if you don't mind.
Okay.
But you maybe you giggle a little bit or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give her that last line, Chris?
Let's see.
The last line. I only set it up before I kill someone.
Oh. I only talk this much before I kill somebody.
But see, Isabella, it looks like Isabella is smiling. I want to see her. Maybe a little giggle, maybe a laugh. Yeah, see a tilt of the head. Say it again, Chris.
I only talk this much before I'm gonna kill someone.
There you go. Good. Thank you, Isabella. All right, Chris, come on.
All righty. Let's see.
Isabella, turn off your camera, honey. All right, there we are, Chris.
All righty. Hello? Hi, honey. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Well, look, Esther, maybe the thing to do is to stop thinking about when I'm gonna come home back to Scarsdale and start thinking about when you and the girls are gonna come out here. Uh-huh. No, as soon as possible. On the other hand, do you think this is the right time to take the kids out of school? Maybe maybe we should play it ear for a little bit and see what happens. Yeah, we don't have to settle everything in one conversation, do we? All right. I tell you, the thing is, we're gonna see each other before you know it. All right? Okay. Love you too, Esther. Good night.
Am I coming at a bad time?
Not at all. Come on in.
I don't want to interrupt your pantomime.
No, it's just
What are you doing?
nothing. Why don't you come on in? Too fast to put a ring on your finger?
Nothing's too fast that fits. You always carry around a spare ring?
I figure I'd run into you. Would you ever have called me?
I was planning to wait a while.
When?
10 years?
10 years? Why?
Well, I figured since all we're going to do is bring each other pain and torment,
What? Now, why would you think we would bring each other misery and torment?
because we both want what we want whenever we want it, and we both want everything.
Well, that doesn't sound too promising, does it?
That's what I'm saying.
Now, why'd you come?
Well, it wasn't caution.
What about Joey A?
We're in touch. Does that bother you?
Uh-huh.
Why? Because of your conscience? Or because you're worried about screwing up your business?
Hadn't thought it through that clearly.
Well, if you knew I was here with you, the only thing you'd be trying to think through is which of us to kill first.
Do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
How do you know I want to kiss you at all? I really don't think we should go through with this. Do you? Is that a yes or a no?
Both. Ho, ho, ho. You pack quite a punch, don't you?
That wasn't a punch. It was a slap. If I had to punch you, you'd be stretched out across the floor.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right about everything. I'm sure you're right about the misery and the torment. And I'm sure you're right about what you want and what you're gonna do.
Do you always talk this much before you do it?
I only talk this much before I kill someone.
Good, Chris. That was really interesting. You did a good job with that.
Thank you.
And I really, really appreciated you seeing her come in the room, and how your tone changed. I thought that was really well done. I think I want to see you do the ending where you're telling the truth, but you're making a joke out of the truth that you're telling.
Okay.
And I only do that when you're like Henny Youngman there or something, Robin Williams, whatever. Okay, it's like you're making a joke, but you're not making a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Where do you want us to take it from?
Boy, you packed quite a punch.
Okay. Let me see where I had mine. Oh, there we go. Alrighty.
And Chris, you were looking into camera really well.
Oh, thank you. Let me see. Should we start it from, do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you, or
Yeah,
you pack quite a punch, don't you?
right in that area. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
How do you know I want to kiss you at all? I really don't think we should go through with this. Do you? Is that a yes or a no?
Both. Whoa. You pack quite a punch, don't you?
That wasn't a punch. It was a slap. If I had to punch you, you'd be stretched out across the floor.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right about everything. I'm sure you're right about the misery and the torment. And I'm sure you're right about what you want and what you're gonna do.
Do you always talk this much before you do it?
I only talk this much before I kill someone.
Okay. It looked like you were ready to kiss her too. That was good. I like that. Good. Thank you, Chris. You did good work.
Thank you.
I'm seeing
Job
some,
is done.
that was nice. All right, let's bring on Carolyn. And Eamon, why don't you do the talking first?
Okay.
Let Carolyn go on first. We'll let the women go first and you be on the other side of it.
Okay.
Carolyn, can you bring up your camera? All right, turn your camera off, Eamon. Here we go.
Are we doing this together? I'm sorry. Forgive me. Is he doing it with me?
He's going to be giving you the words. You're going to be looking into camera.
Okay, just a minute. For some reason, I lost something, so stay with me. I'll be right there. All right, for some reason, why did that happen? Okay, here I am. Okay. Oh, Cody.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Victoria Aragon. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about this. Wait, just a minute. Let me stop just a second. Let me get my dog. Hold on. Hold on, Cody. Here. Okay. All right. Forgive me. This dog is very unpredictable. Okay, forgive me. I'm sorry. I apologize for my dog. Okay.
Want to start from the beginning? Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Victoria Aragon. I'm sorry about the bus. I feel terrible. All the problems I've caused you. You should just keep.
Carolyn, let's start again, honey. I want you to look into camera.
Okay, all right.
That's why we're doing this. Take
Yeah,
the
I know.
words
I'm
down
sorry.
and bring them up.
I had to get the script a little bit bigger, so it's better now.
All right. And when you move a little bit to your right, the lighting is better for some reason.
To the right? Okay. Well, is that to your left or to your, is it actually
to your right?
My right. Okay, good. All right.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Victoria Aragon. I'm sorry about the bus. Feel terrible. All the problems I've caused you. You should just keep going. Who knows what will happen?
Oh, there's always the possibility of a forest fire, I suppose. Why aren't you on the bus?
My stop.
You're waiting for a ride.
No, a miracle. He's going to kill me.
Who?
My father.
If you're still worried about that picture.
Not about the picture. Oh, God.
Look, it's none of my business, but if you'd like to talk about it.
I was not meant for the conventions of this world, not meant to be tied down. I'm a free spirit.
Who's a free spirit?
My professor. He and I were.
I don't think just because some free spirit broke up with you.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, you're very upset. I can understand that. Definitely understand that. But Victoria, look at the positive side. It's a new life coming into the world. That's a miracle in itself, right?
I will kill anyone who dishonors my family. How many times has he said that? 100 times, 1,000,000 times.
I'm sure it's just a figure of speech.
My father means what he says, always. He's very, very old-fashioned. If I come home this way without a husband, he'll kill me. I know he will.
How about if you do show up with a husband?
Who does what? Come for the day and then leaves, or just leaves?
Sure. Comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves in the morning, writes a letter saying he's
Abandoned me?
It happens.
You're very kind to try to help me. Maybe it might work, but there's nobody.
Miss Aragon,
Victoria.
there's me.
Okay, so Carolyn,
Mhm.
you did an okay job. And the reason I say okay is that what you did, you would say your lines to camera, and then you'd go down and you'd start reading while he's talking. Now,
That's right. Yeah,
This
that's
is
wrong.
the trick. The trick is you get your lines, you say your lines,
Mm-hmm.
then you listen and quickly look down, come back up and get your lines out. Do you see the technique?
Mm-hmm.
Want to try it? Just try it with me because
Yeah.
I know you're a dancer.
Okay.
So we're just going to do blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Then listen. I want you to listen to me, Carolyn, looking into the camera. And then glance down, come right back up, keeping the rhythm. Instead of you looking down while he's talking to you. Yeah? Do you
So,
have, do it again. Let's do it again. I'll just talk to you. Hi, Carolyn. How are
hi.
you doing?
Okay.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
are we good for Friday?
Yes. Friday's
Good.
perfect.
11:30. Good. That's
11:30, right.
perfect. Now, did you see how natural that became? And you were looking directly into camera.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Good
You're
girl.
right. Yeah.
All right, so I need for you to do it again.
All
Eamon,
right.
can you help
Yeah.
her with this? Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sure. From the beginning.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Look into camera, Carolyn.
Okay.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Victoria Aragon. I'm sorry about the bus.
Yeah.
So terrible. All the problems I've caused you. You should just keep going. Who knows what will happen next?
Well, there's always the possibility of a forest fire, I suppose. And why aren't you on the bus?
Nice stop.
You're waiting for a ride.
No. No. Miracle. He's going to kill me.
Who?
My father.
If you're still worried about that picture,
It's not the picture. My God. Oh my God.
look, it's,
Look
it's
up.
none of my business, but if you'd like to talk about it.
Ah,
Look up.
okay. I lost my place here. Okay.
Go back to the
Yeah.
place. Go back to where you were before. Yeah, lead her back to it's
Okay,
not
I know
the
where I am.
picture.
It's not
Go
about
on.
the picture. Oh God. Oh.
Look, it's none of my business, but if you'd like to talk about it.
I was not meant for the conventions of this world, not meant to be tied down. I'm a free spirit.
Who's a free spirit?
My professor. He and we were
I don't think just because some free spirit broke up with you.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, very upset. I can understand that. Definitely understand that. But Victoria, look at the positive side. It's a new life coming into the world. It's a miracle in itself, right?
I will kill anyone who dishonors my family. How many times has he said that? 100 times, 1,000,000 times.
I'm sure it's just a figure of speech.
My father means what he says. Always. It's very, very old-fashioned. If I could come home this way without a husband, he'll kill me. I know he will.
How about if you do show up with a husband?
Who does what? Comes home for the day and just leaves?
Sure, comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves in the morning, and writes a letter saying
Abandon me?
it happens.
You're very kind for trying to help me. Maybe it might work, but there's nobody.
Miss Aragon,
Victoria.
there's me.
So, Carolyn, really good. Take it back just 2 beats. What, a husband who comes home and then abandons me?
Where is that?
It's at the very end.
Oh, at the very end. Yeah. Okay. Wait, a husband that comes
Okay.
home.
Eamon, do you know where
Wait,
it is?
wait a second. Wait a second. Just a minute. Okay. Let me show. Oh,
I want you to think about it, Carolyn, for a second. Don't just say, think about it. I mean, a
Where
husband.
Paul says, sure, comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves. The next morning writes a letter saying he's abandoned me. Is that the part?
Yeah, think about it, because this could work.
Mhm.
All
Oh,
right.
no, I think she knows that.
Well, no, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't.
Well, the point is that the audience wants to discover it as you discover it.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, this is a stranger. I mean, someone just comes home and you're thinking, well, maybe this could work, you know?
Mhm.
Okay, so give her the lines again if you don't mind.
Um, how about if you do show up with a husband?
Look into camera.
Who does what? Come for the day and just leaves?
Sure. Comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves in the morning, writes a letter saying he's.
Abandoned me?
It happens.
You're
Think
very
about
kind.
it.
You're very kind for trying to help me. Maybe it might work, but there's nobody.
Miss Aragon,
Victoria.
there's me.
Good. Do you see? Yes, you know as an actress that but she really doesn't know. So give yourself time to think about it. Oh,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
you're thinking out loud. Somebody comes home, they abandon me, they might work.
Mhm.
Okay, let's bring you on, Eamon.
Okay.
Carolyn, turn off your camera, honey. Turn off your camera.
I have to get into this. I do this with two. Wait, hold on just a minute.
It should be on the bottom, sweetie.
No, it's on the bottom.
All right, Eamon.
Yeah.
I like the blue. Looks good on you.
Thanks.
Just straighten the collar part for me. Yeah, pull that back. There we go. No. Pull the shoulders back so that the round part. Yeah, there you go. Make it look nice. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Carolyn? Carolyn, where are you? Carolyn?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on just a minute. You don't
Just-
want to see me.
No, you just
I'm sorry. Just a minute.
talk to him and aim and make sure you're looking at your camera.
Yep.
Are
Okay.
you ready, Carolyn?
Yeah, I'm ready now. I'm sorry. Go on.
Whoops.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Victoria Aragon. I'm sorry about the bus.
Um,
I feel terrible. All the problems I've caused you. You should just keep going. Who knows what will happen next?
always the possibility of a forest fire, I suppose. Why aren't you on the bus?
My stop.
You're waiting for a ride.
No, a miracle. He's going to kill me.
Who?
My father.
If you're still worried about that picture.
No, it's not the picture. Oh, God.
Look, it's none of my business, but if you'd like to talk about it.
I was not meant for the conventions of this world, not meant to be tied down. I'm a free spirit.
Who's a free spirit?
My professor. He and we were.
No, I don't think just because some free spirit broke up with you.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, you're very upset. I can understand that. Definitely understand that. But Victoria, look at the positive side. It's a new life coming into the world. It's a miracle in itself, right?
I will kill anyone who dishonors my family. How many times has he said that? 100 times, 1,000,000 times.
I'm sure it's just a figure of speech.
My father means what he says. Always. He's very, very old-fashioned. If I come home without a husband, he'll kill me. I know he will.
Well, how about if you do show up with a husband?
Who does what? Comes for the day and then just leaves?
Sure. Here comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves in the morning, writes a letter saying he's.
Abandon me?
It happens.
You were very kind to try to help me. Maybe it might work, but there's nobody.
Miss Aragon.
Victoria.
There's me.
Nicely done. So Eamon, I think around the time that you're about to volunteer yourself,
Mhm.
kind of dangerous, don't you think?
Yes, he's too eager to take this take this chance and do this for someone who's a complete stranger. This is a comedy, right?
No, it's not. I don't think so.
So I I think I need to see you ponder that before you say it. And I think you're almost surprised that you're saying it. For some reason, you're very much drawn to her. Now as I said before, I've not seen this one. So
No.
I really don't know anything about it, but for a complete stranger to offer to do that, you don't know if her father's really violent. You don't know if she's got brothers who could just, beat the crap out of you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is really I think something that you're even surprised yourself that you say.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what if it's just, when you open your mouth and stuff comes out and you go, oh dear God, did I just volunteer to jump in the ocean? I think it's kind of like that.
All right, now look at this. Look at these two.
So let's take it back from my father's going to kill me. And do me a favor, Carolyn,
Yes.
really get dramatic there. I mean, really, you're scared. God,
I am. Of course I am. Yeah.
how many times has he said this?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
go around there.
Okay.
Start aiming around that area.
You mean, oh, you're very upset. That would be his line.
Do I start out with that line?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, you're very upset. I can understand that. Definitely understand that. But Victoria, look at the positive side. It's a new life coming into the world. That's a miracle in itself, right?
I will kill anyone who dishonors my family. How many times has he said that? 100 times, 1,000,000 times.
I'm sure it's just a figure of speech.
My father means what he says always. He's old-fashioned. If I come home this way without a husband, he'll kill me. I know he will.
How about if you show up with a husband?
Who does what? Comes for the day and just leaves?
Sure. Comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves in the morning, writes a letter saying he's.
Abandon me?
It happens.
You're very kind for trying to help me. Maybe it might work, but there's nobody.
Miss Aragon.
Victoria.
There's me.
Interesting. It was nice, Eamon. Can you just say there's me and then smile? Because it was an awkward there's me.
Okay.
Just Miss Aragon.
Miss Aragon.
Victoria.
There's me.
Good. And you don't have to punch it. Just I want you to be natural, Eamon.
Okay.
Don't even try and open your eyes and punch it. There is someone. You. Miss Aragon, take it from there again.
Miss Aragon,
Victoria.
That makes you smile.
there's me.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, everybody come back. So this is the way casting directors will probably be doing it with you if you're doing it online. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you're in their office, one of two things can happen. Well, several things can happen. The casting director could just read it where they put absolutely no emotion in it, or they could read it with a lot of emotion, because a lot of casting directors were and did study acting. Or they have a reader, and the reader will work with you. But always use the camera, even if the reader is sitting to the right or the left of the camera. You look into that camera as you're responding, unless the casting director tells you differently. All right. And you can always ask them, do you want me to look straight into camera, or where do you want me to look? And they'll tell you. Okay. So always feel relaxed when you go in there, because they've probably called you back. This will be your second call back. And you should ask as many questions as you need to ask without it being too many questions. 2 is enough. You don't want to start asking 3 or 4 questions, or they're going to be miserable thinking that, you don't know what you're doing. Okay. If they give you a redirection, I will tell you, I'm very proud of you. All of you redirected, you took the redirection really well. So I feel like you're ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you back in your breakout rooms, and now you're going to come back and you're going to do it with, 2 of you at the same time. Okay.
Mhm.
So I need to take, wait a minute. I need to take Carolyn, moved Carolyn to room 4. And in room 4, I need to put Amy. Oh, shoot. Hold on, Carolyn, I'm going to move you
That's
to,
okay. That's all right.
Eamon, I'm going to move you to 4. Okay, there you go. All right,
We
I'm
have
hoping to,
So wait a minute.
yeah,
Am
yeah,
I, am I in,
what?
am I in 4? 4?
You're in 4, honey. Carolyn and Eamon are in 4. So right now it's 8:50, 9:05, we'll come back. Andy, join room 2. All right, Jacob. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
How did you like that? Do you like this working this way?
I do like it. I think it gives us kind of a, it forces you to think a little bit more about what you're doing when you're the only person people are watching.
Yeah.
It makes you a little bit more kind of like you were saying with the little movements. It makes you a little bit more aware of the little things and your expressions and everything.
Yeah. And also I think that things have changed so dramatically, you know, without having someone live, working with you, unless it's the casting director or the reader. You need to know all these different ways of doing it. At one point we should try where and I'm thinking maybe next week instead of commercials doing it, where we do a scene where the other person just talks in a monotone, just says the words. Do you know what I mean? So that what you have to do is you have to make up in your brain how you think they're replying to you, what their intentions are, what their feelings are. Because sometimes you just have to do that in acting if that's the way that you're being presented. Jacob, you still there?
Yep.
Oh, I just can't see you. Okay. All right.
One moment.
So I'd like to start off. Who would like to go first? The team first.
No. Amon, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
go first.
All right, Carolyn and Eamon.
Okay, let me get my screen, my little thing going here. Oh. Okay, let me get everything working right. Just a minute. Okay, great. It's great. Okay. All right.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Victoria Aragon. I'm sorry about the bus.
I'd say,
I feel terrible. All the problems I've caused you. And you should just keep going. Who knows what could happen next?
it's always the possibility of a forest fire, I suppose. Why aren't you on the bus?
My stop.
You're waiting for a ride.
No, a miracle. He's going to kill me.
Who?
My father.
If you're still worried about that picture,
Oh, it's not about the picture. Oh, God.
look, it's none of my business, but if you'd like to talk about it.
I was not meant for the conventions of this world, not meant to be tied down. I'm a free spirit.
Who's a free spirit?
My professor. He and I were.
I don't think just because some free spirit broke up with you.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, you're very upset. I can understand that. I definitely understand that. But Victoria, look at the positive side. It's a new life coming into the world. That's a miracle in itself, right?
I will kill anyone who dishonors my family. How many times has he said that? 100 times, 1,000,000 times.
I'm sure it's just a figure of speech.
My father means what he says. He's old-fashioned. If I come home this way without a husband, he'll kill me. I know he will.
How about if you do show up with a husband?
Who comes for the day and then leaves?
Sure. Comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves in the morning, writes a letter saying that he's
Abandon me?
That happens.
You're very kind for trying to help me. Maybe it might work, but there's nobody.
Miss Aragon,
Victoria.
there's me.
Okay. So, for both of you, at the very end, it worked. The last line. Do you know why this scene did not work? Do either one of you have an idea?
No.
Neither one of you were really listening to each other. You had rehearsed the scene and you had picked up a fast pace, but you weren't listening. Again, you need to look, listen, respond. So you need to make a couple of decisions. Eamon, Have you done anything like this before in this character's life? Have you helped someone as much as you've helped her? I mean, I think she got you thrown off the bus. I think something ensued over a picture. I don't know. This is something you guys, should decide on. But you were cutting her off, Eamon. You weren't listening, and Carolyn, you weren't listening to him.
Okay.
We were just trying
Dude,
to avoid those
those,
uncomfortable pauses because there are some lines that are broken sentences. You know,
you're
They
working
are
on it.
uncomfortable pauses. You are uncomfortable with each other. That's why I just asked you, Eamon, have you done this before? You think? I don't think your character has. I think your character is probably really conservative and has found himself enmeshed in this drama of this woman on a bus, for God's sakes, going maybe from one city to the next. I don't know. But I think you, Eamon, need to make that decision for you and your character.
mm,
Because she says, I'm so sorry for everything I've caused you. So it's got to be nothing minor. It's got to be she's been a pain in your ass. Do you know what I mean? On this bus trip where you were probably asked to get off the bus with her.
yeah.
Because you say, why are you not on the bus? Well, this is my stop, she says.
Mm,
See, so those uncomfortable pauses, I think were necessary because I think you're both highly uncomfortable.
mm,
I don't think you know what you're going to say. And the way you were doing it, you knew what you were going to say, and she knew how she was going to respond. So it was entertaining, but it wasn't great acting. Does that make
I understand.
you look, you listen, and you respond like it's the very first time.
okay.
So let's try it again.
I should know this by heart already.
Yeah. I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Paul Sutton.
Victoria Aragon. I'm sorry about the bus.
Um,
I feel terrible. All the problems I've caused you. You should just keep going. Who knows what could happen next?
there's always the possibility of a forest fire, I suppose. Why aren't you on the bus?
My stop.
You're waiting for a ride.
No, I'm waiting for a miracle. He's going to kill me.
Who?
My father.
If you're still worried about that picture,
It's not the picture. Oh God, no.
look, it's none of my business, but if you'd like to talk about it,
I was not meant to be in the conventions of this world. Not meant to be tied down. I'm a free spirit.
who's a free spirit?
My professor. He and I we're together.
I don't think just because some free spirit broke up with you
I'm
that
correct.
oh, you're very upset. I can understand that. Definitely understand that. But Victoria, look at the positive side. It's a new life coming into the world. It's a miracle in itself, right?
Stop right here. Stop. Now, up to this moment, it was really good. Really good. Carolyn,
Mhm.
he says to you, and I'm sorry, I'm paraphrasing it. Don't you say I can see you're very upset, Eamon? Do you say
You're
there?
very upset. I can understand that. Definitely understand that.
Carolyn, you have to be really upset. You just said I'm pregnant. It was sweet the way you said it, but it's got to be a wail. I'm pregnant.
Okay.
In order to help him say his next line. Whoa, I can see you're very upset. Do you
Yeah.
understand? It's
Hmm.
each actor helping the other actor there. So
Yeah.
let's go back, but it was great up until that point.
Okay.
So let's go back to the line before it.
Okay.
So-
Okay. You want to, Paul? Paul, do you want to do your line? And I don't think just because. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think just because some free spirit broke up with you that your life is over, or that.
I'm pregnant.
No, Carolyn, you've got to be upset. If his next line is,
Mhm.
I can see you're upset,
Okay. All right.
you can't just say, I'm pregnant. It was funny. And it was
I didn't
cute.
mean to be funny. I
No,
didn't mean to
no,
be funny at
no,
all.
sweetie, I'm using the wrong word. It was clever. I liked how you went, I'm pregnant. But his next line, and you got to help him get to that last line, is, I can see you're very upset. But you weren't upset. You just said, I'm pregnant.
Okay.
I'm
Right.
pregnant.
All right.
No, something big.
Okay.
You
All right.
know, you give him something to do. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Back.
Okay. I don't think just because some free spirit broke up with you that your life is over, or that you'll just go down to your grave in mourning.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, very upset. I can see, I can understand that. Definitely understand that. But Victoria, look at the positive side. It's a new life coming into the world. It's a miracle in itself, right?
I will kill anyone who dishonors my family. How many times has he said that? 100 times, 1,000,000 times.
I'm sure it's just a figure of speech.
My father means what he says. Always. He's old-fashioned. If I come home this way without a husband, he'll kill me. I know he will.
How about if you do show up with a husband?
Who does what? Comes in the day and then leaves.
Sure. Just comes to meet the family, stays one night, leaves in the morning, writes a letter saying he's.
Abandon me.
It happens.
You're very kind for trying to help me. Maybe it'll work. But there's nobody. There's
Miss Aragon,
Victoria.
there's me.
Oh, so much better, you guys. Did you see? Did you feel?
Mhm.
You both took
Yes.
your
Yeah,
time
I did.
and you really reacted off each other, because you always have to remember you have to give something that the other person
Yeah,
can,
that's
can
I
work
got it.
off of. If you just say I'm pregnant, or
Yeah.
which was clever, but it didn't help him say, I can see you're very upset. Because,
Yeah, I see.
see what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
That's where actors really start to work and support each other.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Work, guys, good work.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right, my
Thank you.
next two,
Okay. Yeah.
Andre and Alicia. Pretty Alicia. Hold on, here we go.
Lynette. Hi, baby.
Sid,
Come out here a minute.
what are you doing out of uniform?
Don't worry about that. Just come out here for a minute. I got something for you.
Well, wait just a second, all right. I look a mess.
All right, then. If you don't want it.
All right, what?
Well, if you don't want it.
What?
Hold it up, Andy.
Oh my God.
No, let's start again.
Oh my God.
No, let's start again. Andy,
Yeah.
you gotta hold it up and open it, you know.
Right. Okay.
You see, this is just like a thumbprint. You gotta, you know,
Okay.
and it's gotta be higher. We can't see it. Let's start again.
Okay.
And Alyssa, you really are a mess. You got curlers in your hair. You look really funky. You've got no makeup on. He's kind of got, Andy, you gotta kind of coax her out even a little bit more. Well, if you don't want it, you know.
Okay.
What? Well, no, you don't want it. What? Okay, here we go.
Lynette. Hi, baby.
Hi, Sid.
Come out here a minute.
What are you doing out of uniform?
Don't worry about that. Just come out here for a minute. I got something for you.
Oh, wait just a second, all right. And I look a mess.
All right. If you don't want it.
All right, what?
Well, if you don't want it.
What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's beautiful.
It cost me my whole life savings, but I said, what the fuck?
Oh God. Oh, Sid, does this mean what I
Yes,
think?
ma'am, that's what it means.
Oh, Sid.
Let's get a justice of the peace and do it right now.
Oh, I can't wait to tell Paula. Oh, Sid, where are we going to get stationed first? I hope we go to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii.
Honey, we're not going to get stationed anywhere. I DOR'd.
You, what?
I DOR'd. Hell, I was never cut out to be a pilot. I was faking it. I've been faking everything in my life up until now.
But what do we do? Where would we go?
Oklahoma. I'm gonna get my old job back at JCPenney's. Hell, in 2 years, I'll be floor manager. You're gonna love Oklahoma. And you and mom are gonna get along great. Money will be a little tight at first, and we might have to live there at home, but it's gonna work out.
Sid, there's no baby.
What?
I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning. There's no baby, Sid.
Well, I'll be goddamned. What do you say we get married anyway? I love you. I never really knew that till just now. Just the second. I have never been happier in my life than I've been the last 7 weeks. I've never felt so relaxed. I've never felt so loved for who I really am. Lynette, marry me. Make me the happiest man in the whole world.
I'm sorry, Sid, but I don't want to marry you. I really like you, and we've had some great times, but I thought you understood. I want to marry a pilot. I want to live my life overseas, the wife of an aviator. Damn you. God damn you. Nobody DORs after 11 weeks. Nobody.
Insane. Interesting. How did you guys feel about that? I'm curious.
Pretty good.
Do you feel good, Alyssa? Andy?
Yeah.
I feel like he gave me what I needed to.
Oh, he did, and both of you gave each other. I'm just curious about one thing, and I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, but are you relieved, Alyssa, that you're not going to marry him? Are you upset? Are you angry? You know, I don't want to give you, I'm giving you terms that we call result direction. In other words, you can't play angry, you can't play that, but, or are you just really frustrated? I mean, this character we're surprised. I think we're highly surprised that she drops him so quickly and so. So I guess I'm asking you, were you marrying him just because he was going to be a fighter pilot?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I just wanted the image and the life that he would provide me. I didn't really like him per se. Um, but he was like the first pilot that I kind of like got on the hook.
You snagged him.
And
Exactly.
yeah, I snagged him and he seemed interested in me. And like, I don't even like, I wasn't even really pregnant. I just told him that to help snag him.
Got it.
So I
So,
was hoping that he was only marrying me because of the baby. And so that's why I was like, oh, there's no baby.
okay. Well, then, could you at the end be a little bit more antagonistic towards him? You know, God,
Mm.
you stupid guy. I mean, that's probably what you'd be thinking. You're so stupid, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Why
got
can't
to
you
be
be?
something where this man commits suicide. I mean, he's just devastated. And
Yeah.
Andy, I liked your reactions. Um, why do you think you were never meant to be a fighter pilot? What is it that has caused you to feel that way?
I think I was trying to be a fighter pilot because of family expectations. Like my family has a going back generations, just a history in the military, and so there was pressure.
And that's big, Andy. That's really big. I mean, so the only way that you could get out of going, I mean, that's a great choice. So really, the only way you could go back home is with a bride who's pregnant. And that's the only way your father and your brothers and your cousins are going to accept you. That's a
Yeah,
great choice.
and actually, before you said that, um, I I discovered that um, marrying her is kind of my last chance to turn my life around. It was it was going to be the military, and then I found out that I'm not cut out for that, and so then I think part of why I say or ask, um, you know, what do you say we get married anyway? Is because um, like she's literally my last shot, my last chance.
I think so. So I need to take it from that around that area. And I need to see that desperation. And Alyssa, you have to feel it. I mean, in a way, I think he's a coward to you. And that's just horrible. And it's not that you're a coward, Andy. It's just that you never really wanted to do this. You were more or less pushed into it, I think, by family. Okay? Let's just,
Uh,
okay, let's take it from that area.
like the last few
I
lines.
think, no, I think, Andy, it's from I've never felt so uh, gotten. You felt that she
Uh,
got you.
Maybe the last two lines.
last, okay. Um, okay. Um, Elisa, would you mind just starting from I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning.
Yeah. I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning. There's no baby, Sid.
Alyssa, didn't you just say to me you were lying about it to begin with? So you're using
Yeah,
this.
but I don't want to tell him that
Yeah, but
I'm
you're using
lying.
this as an excuse. I'm not pregnant. I got my period. See, we have to know that you were using that as a bit of an excuse by the tone in your voice. You're getting a little tougher on him now. You're not all sweet and bubbly and cutie.
I'm not pregnant. I got my period this morning. There's no baby, Sid.
Well, I'll be goddamned. What do you say we get married anyway? I love you. I didn't think I really knew that till just now, just this second. I've never been happier in my life than I've been the last 7 weeks. I've never felt so relaxed. I've never felt so loved for who I really am. Lynette, marry me. Make me the happiest man in the whole world.
I'm sorry, Sid, but I don't want to marry you. I really like you, and we've had ourselves some great times. But I thought you understood. I want to marry a pilot. I want to live my life overseas, the wife of an aviator. Damn you. God damn you. No DORs after 11 weeks. Nobody.
Good. Alyssa, you froze just a little bit just to let you know at that end. So, but you'll see it in the other takes. Good. How'd you guys feel? You see you got some different things moving in there. Good work. Thank you. Okay, next, Isabella and Chris.
Hello. All right. Hello. Hi, honey. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, look, Esther, maybe the thing to do is for us to stop thinking about when I'm gonna come back up to Scarsdale and start thinking about when you and the girls are gonna come out here. Uh-huh. Nope. As soon as possible. On the other hand, do you think this is really the right time to take the kids out of school? Maybe we just play it by ear, see what happens. Yeah, we don't have to settle everything in one conversation, do we? All right. I tell you that the thing is, we're gonna see each other before you know it. All right. Okay. Love you too. Good night.
Am I coming at a bad time?
Not at all. Come on in.
I don't want to interrupt your pantomime.
No, it's just
What are you doing?
nothing. Why don't you come on in? Too fast to put a ring on your finger?
Nothing's too fast that fits. You always carry around a spare ring?
Figured I'd run into you. Would you ever have called me?
I was planning to wait a while.
When?
10 years?
10 years. Why?
Well, guess I just figured all we would do is bring each other misery and torment.
What? Now, why would we have to bring each other misery and torment?
Because we both want whatever we want, whenever we want, and we both want everything.
Well, that doesn't sound too promising, does it?
That's what I'm saying.
And then why'd you come?
Well, it wasn't caution.
What about Joey A?
We're in touch. Does that bother you?
Uh-uh.
Why? Because of your conscience, or you're worried about screwing up your business?
Hadn't thought it through that clearly.
Well, if you knew that I were here with you, the only thing he'd be trying to think through is which one of us to kill first.
Do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
How do you know I want to kiss you at all? I don't really think we should go through with this. Do you? Is that a yes or a no?
Both. Whoa! You pack quite a punch, don't you?
That wasn't a punch. That was a slap. If I had to punch you, you'd be stretched out all across the floor.
I'm sure you're right, and I'm sure you're right about everything. I'm sure you're right about the misery and the torment. And I'm sure about
Do
that
you
you're right
always
about
talk this much before you're going to do it?
I only talk this much before I'm gonna kill someone.
Oh, good. That was good, you guys. I actually liked you cutting him off, Isabella. I thought that was a good choice, you know. Um, So, Chris, have you had lots of affairs on your wife, I think?
No. Oh, I mean, you're talking about like the character.
God, Chris, of
Oh my
course.
gosh. Yeah, I was already in the character, all right?
So has he, do you think he had a lot of affairs?
I think it's like a normal thing to him. Like, well, he doesn't really care too much
Right.
about it's like a front for him just having his wife and kids, you know?
Excuse me. Yeah, I think you're right. And I liked how you played it. And I liked how you saw her and you both waved. Arabella, I'd like to see you really listening to him. Even though you say I like watching your pantomime. It's like he's playing, well, I think what you mean is, oh, he's playing the dutiful husband. You know what I mean? That's what you mean by the pantomime. I actually liked how you guys both did it. I thought you did a really good job.
Thank you, Tony.
Any comments? I liked it. I would have liked to seen you get a little bit rougher, Isabella.
Okay.
In fact, I think I'll have you do just that one section where, ooh, you know. Now, which way? You're slapping him, which way? Put your hand up. So you're slapping him.
I guess she's,
back.
yeah.
No, so you have to go the other way, Chris.
Oh, okay. It's just because of however it's on my screen right now that I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll go this way.
Yeah, so do it for him, Isabella. Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's do it from that area.
Okay. Let's see. Do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
How do you know I want to kiss you at all? I don't really think we should go through with this. Do you?
Ha.
Is that a yes or a no?
Both. Whoa. You pack quite a punch, don't you?
That wasn't a punch. That was a slap. If I'd have punched you, you'd be stretched out on the floor.
Sure you're right. I'm sure you're right about everything. Sure you're right about the misery and the torment. And I'm sure you're right about what you want.
Always talk this much before you're going to do it?
I only talk this much before I kill someone.
Good. Good. Thank you both for taking the direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay. All right, Jacob and Jen.
Hi, I wanted to talk about the other night. Then I saw the paper and, well, actually, I'm kind of embarrassed about it. But since it concerns you, I thought we should talk about it in person.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Mm,
Oh, the earplugs. I can't go through the whole thing again. It's sufficient to say I've come to make up. As an added inducement, I have all kinds of news. Can I come in?
oh, um, uh, yeah, I guess so. Actually, just a minute. Do I have a nightgown on? No, I don't. Would you turn around for me? You know what? Never mind. I'm sorry. That's corny anyway. I'll turn around myself. You can come in. Sorry.
Have you seen the paper?
Hmm. Rusty, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, I know all about it.
Certainly had him pegged wrong. Didn't I? I thought he was just a rat, but he was a super rat all along. A super rat in rat's clothing. You don't even know the best part. Not only was he a super rat, he was also broke.
I mean, but not a farthing. I mean, his family has money, of course, but he personally is broke. It turns out that he owes 700,000. I mean, can you imagine owing anyone 700,000? $43 maybe, yeah. Anyway, that's why he decided to marry the queen of the pig people. You know what? I'll tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money a heartbeat. Would you marry me for mine?
In a minute.
I guess it's pretty lucky neither of us is rich, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Fred, darling. I'm so glad to see you. Tell me, how have you been doing?
Writing mostly. Sold a story. Just got word this morning.
Oh, that's marvelous. It really is. Only, how does your decorator friend feel about it? I mean, aren't you supposed to be saving yourself?
You know something? I haven't got around to telling her yet. Look, why don't we go have a drink? Or take a walk to celebrate?
All right. There's some champagne in the icebox. You know what? Why don't you open it while I go get dressed?
Okay.
You know, I don't actually think I've ever drunk champagne before breakfast before. With breakfast on several occasions, yes, but never before. You know, I actually have a wonderful idea. We'll spend the day doing things that we've never done before. We'll take turns. First, something you've never done, and then me. Of course, I can't really think of anything that I've never done before.
Woo!
Okay, interesting. Jacob, I don't shield your eyes too soon. It's you shield your eyes when she says, "It's okay, I'll turn around." Then it's like, just for a moment. The other thing is, don't you think you're excited about selling your first script? I mean, you were kind of like, yeah, I just sold my first script. I mean, it's like, this is monumental. This first story, So I think I need more enthusiasm from you from you there. Jennifer, I like Jen. I like the way you do it. I don't know. There's something there that I wanted you to add. Just around the time I'd marry you if you were rich. Would you marry me if I was rich? I think in reality, you're both trying to figure out if you really both do love each other, like each other. The reason that the two of you have not gotten together, from what I can tell or I always felt, was because neither one of you had money. Neither one of you had money. Jacob's being taken care of by an older rich woman, and you're got lots of rich boyfriends or gangster boyfriends, one or the other. And I think that's the time where you become This is starting to become intimate. You're becoming more than friends. You're becoming partners. And it's upsetting to both of you, really, because it's not what you dreamt about. We find out, Jennifer, that your husband was a much older man, that you were married way back in the South as a young girl, and you had a brother who was killed in the war, and you ran away, and he comes looking for you, and he's got to be 22, 25 years older than you. So you're escaping that reality of boredom. And Jacob, you're in love with a very pretty woman, and not a beauty or anything, but a very I would say good-looking woman, who Patricia Neal, who's taking care of you and doesn't want you to be successful. Absolutely does not want you to be successful. She wants you under her wing. Hey, baby boy. Hey, baby. Lucky probably has to go out in a few minutes. So let's take it from that area. I have an idea. Let's go out. No, I want to see it from you saying I sold a script. Jacob, I've got to see a lot more excitement. Okay, hold on. Let me just. Hold on, Lucky.
Okay. We could start at my line right before that. Okay. Oh, Fred, darling. I'm so glad to see you. Tell me, what have you been doing?
Writing mostly. Sold a story. Just got word this morning.
Oh, that's marvelous. It really is. Only, how does your decorator friend feel about it? Aren't you supposed to be saving yourself?
You know something? I haven't got around to telling her yet. Look, why don't we go have a drink? Or take a walk to celebrate?
All right. There's some champagne in the icebox. Why don't you open it while I go get dressed?
Okay.
Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever drunk champagne before. With breakfast on several occasions, yes, but never before. Actually, I have a wonderful idea. We'll spend the day doing things that we've never done before. We'll take turns. First, something that you've never done, and then me. Of course, I can't really think of anything that I've never done.
Good, guys. So everybody come back. Good work. I think that this is a really good way for us to work. I mean, I really get to see
I have
things.
something can I say something that's unusual?
Yeah.
Um, I got really hot tonight. I mean, warm. And that's really a good sign that I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I, I just, I learn, but I don't get the excitement. Tonight, I really did. I really understood what you were trying to convey, at
Oh,
least
good.
with Eamon and I. Yeah, I really got it.
Yeah, we have to remember, if our fellow actor's line says, I can see you're upset, if we don't find a way to or organically get upset for them, they have nowhere to go. I might have you do next week Uta Hagen's 5 open scenes, because she really forces you to think of where you are, what the relationship is, all the things I've been teaching you. She forces you to do in these scenes that have like 1 or 2 words.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think I'm going to do that instead of commercials. Are you okay with that, you guys?
That'd be wonderful.
Because it really forces you to look, listen, react, respond. You know,
Very
it forces you to do that. And I think that's where we're at with this right now. Any questions?
Thank you.
Nope.
Eamon, check out your machine. I'm glad it seems to be working just fine now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can all hear me. I can hear
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Worked.
All right, kiddos. Have a great night.
Good
Mwah.
night,
Good night.
everybody.
Night, everyone.
Night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good
Night.
night.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Eamon.
Oh, you're welcome.
See you Friday.